Whew, it's hot tonight. Okay, so I am going for another night of tour guiding. And I was supposed to do the all ages tour tonight, but the person who was doing the adult tour said she couldn't make it, so they combined my all ages tour with the adults only tour, and I'm doing both groups tonight, so that's fun. I don't really care. 9 or 20 people doesn't really make a difference. I don't know how many people are going to end up on the tour once they finish combining, but we'll see. So I've got my trusty lantern, which has an electronic light in it that I carry so they know that I am a tour guide, because people keep not knowing who I am and therefore not finding me during my tour or at the beginning of my tour. So what did I decide to do for a speech tonight? Oh, okay. So tell me in the comments if you recognize this phrase. Mr. White in the parlor with the candlestick. So the murder I'm going to talk about is the murder that inspired the changes made to the game of Clue when Parker Brothers bought the game, because Parker Brothers at the time was located in Salem, Massachusetts. So if you bought a game before the 1950s, it would say that it was made in Salem, Massachusetts, which is very interesting. So, we're going to start in 1820. So, Captain Joseph White was a huge powerhouse in the shipping industry as well as the slave trade. Now, Massachusetts has always been a very, very blue state, so they outlawed slavery in the late 1700s, but Captain Joseph White just went down south to trade his slaves. And despite the fact that he was morally askew, he was considered very influential and powerful in the city of Salem, and that is why what happened to him really shook the town. So he had a niece and grandniece who were both named Mary Beckford. And his grandniece, Mary Beckford, fell in love with Joseph Knapp. Now, Joseph Knapp was the son of a competing shipping company. So, when Captain Joseph White found out about this, he said, "If you marry him, I will cut you out of my will." So what did she do? She married him and got cut out of the will. This brings us to 1830. In 1830, Joseph Knapp and his brother went to the Crown and Shield brothers, whose family, the Crown and Shield family, were very powerful in politics and military leadership. But the Crown and Shield brothers themselves were considered the black sheep of the family, with ties to prostitution and shaking people down before the mob. So the Knapp brothers went to the Crown and Shield brothers and said, if the will were to disappear and an accident were to befall Captain White, the money would be divided equally among the family, including my wife, Mary Beckford. This seems totally reasonable. And so Joseph Knapp went into the house, went into his Captain White's naval trunk, and stole the will, took it out of the house, and burned it. And left the window game of passion, and a bounty was put out, a reward for whoever could find the assassin. But several months passed and there were no leads, and people were scared to the point that women had bodyguards and traveled in groups of 10 just to go out on the town during the day. So a man who was arrested for an unrelated crime said, "You know that murder you guys are looking into? I know who did it. And for a lesser sentence, I will tell you who did it." So he told them the Crown and Shield brothers were paid $1,000, which is the equivalent of about $20,000 today, to take care of Captain White. And the Crown and Shield brothers then turned in the Knapp brothers who hired them. So, the Crown and Shield brothers and Knapp brothers were arrested. George Crown and Shield hung himself in his cell because he knew the jig was up. The remaining Crown and Shield brother and Joseph Knapp were both hung in public, and by this time everyone had courtroom fatigue, so the remaining Knapp brother was totally acquitted and got off scot-free. Interesting, huh? So, and the money that they thought would be divided equally among the family automatically went to a cousin who did not even live in Salem. So that plan fell through in all different ways. And that's the murder that inspired the game of Clue. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that story, and I am driving on my way to work. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I know I said I was going to make pumpkin bread, but I had a little bit of a crowding issue in my kitchen the past couple of weeks because Dave's son was coming to get Dave's weight bench and like barbells or whatever they're called. And so they were littering my kitchen for a while, and then I finally moved them to the garage. So I should be able to make pumpkin bread this weekend. So talk to you soon. Bye.